Hi, welcome back to P.I.E. Today I'm going to be comparing P.I.E. to two other plans that are out there. One is the Biden plan and the other is called the fair tax. First, for P.I.E. versus Biden. P.I.E. is much better than the Biden plan for both our people and for our economy. Although P.I.E. has a net tax increase of $195 billion per year, $186 billion of that increase comes from the underground economy, which currently evades all taxes. The underground represents $2.5 trillion of primarily illegal activities like drug dealing, human trafficking, dealing in stolen goods, and other illegal activities. Also, that amounts to $500 billion in taxes that is not being collected because they don't report earnings or income. P.I.E. will collect $200 billion of that $500 billion when those activities create profit and the people go to spend it. They will be collected on the purchases they make. P.I.E. also increases taxes for high-income families by $165 billion per year. Those additional revenues are what allows P.I.E. to give the middle class a 26% tax cut. The Biden plan only has tax increases, no tax cuts. The Biden plan increases payroll taxes alone by $200 billion per year and another $130 billion in other types of tax increases. Although both P.I.E. and the Biden plan strengthen Social Security, P.I.E. clearly strengthens it to a much greater degree. P.I.E. stimulates growth in the economy. The Biden tax plan will slow economic growth. P.I.E. can provide much more stimulus in the early months of the implementation, depending on how it is started up. Anywhere from $50 to $100 billion a month in additional stimulus could be provided. P.I.E. will reduce the current deficit levels even after the spending increases that are needed to avoid unintended negative consequences for retirees and welfare recipients. The Biden economic plan includes $1.9 trillion in increased spending, far exceeding the tax increases that are in that plan and therefore increasing deficits. Although the 1.9 is being negotiated now, the outcome is unknown. There is an alternative to P.I.E. Also that is known as the fair tax, which is a grassroots effort like P.I.E. And has many supporters, some think as many as 1.5 million. It was first proposed in 1998. The fair tax has a much, much larger scope because it proposes replacing all 5 federal taxes: income taxes, excise taxes, estate taxes, payroll taxes, everything, with a new federal sales tax. Because of that scope, the proponents of the fair tax feel that it needs to have the 16th Amendment repealed, which takes a 2/3 vote of Congress, and that is extremely difficult to do legislatively. But P.I.E.'s scope allows us to implement it very easily from a legislative standpoint. P.I.E. just replaces 1/2 of one federal tax, specifically the individual portion of payroll taxes, with a federal sales tax, and does not tax housing-related purchases, which the fair tax does. With P.I.E., the U.S. will collect about 1/4 of the federal, state, and local tax revenues in total, with a consumption tax, which is still lower than the rest of the world's developed countries that typically collect about 1/3 of their total taxes from consumption taxes. For the reasons given, P.I.E. is the best plan for quickly improving the U.S. economy and creating a fairer tax system. The details are outlined in the other videos on this channel, so stay tuned in for potential new content.